ripped out all my parts. And worst of all, for me to live, I gotta kill the part of me that saw that I needed you more. I hope you know we had everything when you broke me and left these pieces. I want you to hurt like you hurt me today. I want you to lose when I lose, when I play what could have been. Ghost, a fallen angel, ripped out all my parts. I couldn't care what inventions you made me, 'cause I was meant to be yours. Could have been.
Hello, welcome to Metaverse Degen. I'm Lion.
I'm Old Man Raptor, and we got one go ahead. Guest quest. What the fuck am I thinking? Jesus fucking Christ. Guest here today with us. Sorry, folks. Oh, boy.
You got it, Raptor.
Yeah, I hope so, because I don't know what I'm getting, and I ain't even shit-faced. Our guest is...
Ooh,
boing, boing.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for joining us, KitKat. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Yes.
Of course. Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so
you know.
May I ask, who are you? What are you known for? And how'd you get started with everything?
So I'm KitKatSingsMeow. I go by KitKat, obviously. But I'm a virtual singer in VRChat, and I guess that's what I'm known for. I dabble some bits in the creative stuff and do some songwriting. You know, I've been starting up on that, but mainly known for, I guess, my performing and all that. I guess I started out in VR about a year ago, I'd say. I was in VRChat previously, you know, a couple of years before, but not that active. But once I got my first VR headset, then yeah, I really feel like I officially started in VR, and I stumbled upon an open mic by Corbell, and I was I guess that sort of started me up in being able to perform in VR. Before that, I just performed uh I mean very briefly, like every now and then in IRL, and had brief like performing stuff in like high school and college, but never really did much with it. So yeah, I
Oh,
guess that started me a year ago. Yeah.
oh wow. So you've been only doing VR performances for a year?
Yeah, I'd say so. I started out with smaller things like open mics, some smaller venues, just doing some smaller gigs. Started out with that, and then stumbling upon like different music groups in VR. I got some first shots in performing around March, I think March April. That was like when I first got into my first performance at a festival, or like a an event, and that got me started. Yeah.
Oh. So what were some of the first shows you did, like with, as you said, you got started with Corbell, and what about that made you want to continue down the path of being a vsinger?
Well, I had always really uh I've had a want to go ahead and perform online for like since I was probably in high school. Um, I just didn't really know how I would get there. I always was a big fan of VR, since it was like in its early days, but I never could afford one until like last year. But I think once I didn't know that the VR space was a place where people like performers would actually go and sing. Musicians can put themselves out there like that. I saw VRChat, fully like social recreation, that kind of thing. So when I stumbled upon like some of my friends invited me to one of Corbell's open mics, and I joined in. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect. I got pushed by my friends a bit because they didn't really know fully that I sang, or like how I sang, but they pushed me up to go and sing. I sang a couple times, but it was really enjoyable. I it gave me that kind of thrill that I used to get back when I performed on like IRL in stages, and it sort of like reinvigorated that want to perform, and now I just found I guess a path to do so. Yeah.
Oh wow. So you have a history with music from what it sounds like.
Not too much. I have a love for music. I started getting drawn to it when I was younger. I started out with piano like when I was about like 4, I think, and then I transitioned into trying out different other instruments like guitar. But then around middle school, I really honed into my singing because I didn't really know that I had a voice until like one of my teachers had I guess pointed that out to me. One of my music teachers pointed it out to me and like encouraged me to go for a local talent show, and I guess that's what sort of put me on the track of focusing a lot on my singing. And so since after that in high school, I competed like academically, I guess, like in vocal performance and that kind of stuff. And I did a good bit of that. And in college, I was briefly like a part of an a cappella group, but that was very short lived. But after that, I mean the fire was still there, the passion was still there because music is a very important part of me, part of my expression. And so I always knew that I still had so much that I wanted to give. And I really enjoy getting to go ahead and perform for others. So it, yeah, I guess that pushed me to try to seek for more. But that's really the extent of what I like my history in it.
Okay. So
I say I'm still pretty early in my you know in my music. Uh, so yeah.
oh, so how has VR been able to help you explore that kind of side of you with playing music and singing, and what has the experience been like from what you expected it or thought it would be like?
Well, I I didn't really when first going into I kind of was very surprised at how immersive VR really was. I guess me being fresh into I started with when the Quest 3 came out. I got myself a Quest 3 and great experience, you know. Um and I started seeing like wow, there's so much that VR can really like handle, like, you know, with like face tracking and with, you know, getting finally full body tracking and being able to stream, you know, into like worlds if you're going to be performing that kind of stuff. So you get good audio quality and um, is it was a lot that I realized that can be done with VR and so much that, you know, still has yet to be like explored that I I kind of just like started slowly but surely taking the dive. Of course, I ended up getting a Quest Pro to get face tracking because I feel like I'm very expressive when I'm performing. Um, and then eventually I got me some trackers, and it kind of like started like slowly but surely escalating like my performances because I remember at the beginning, although I was in VR, you know, I started just first performing in desktop, and then once I got my Quest Pro, then I was like I can actually perform with a headset on and be expressive, and with the Quest Pro because of the gap at the bottom, I really enjoy it. I can actually get to see, you know, where I'm at, I can know where I'm holding my mic at, even though I have a tendency of bumping into my mic a lot. But I it VR not only just it had so much to offer, but also as a performer, I think it gives you such an incredible opportunity because, you know, for live stuff, you know, you have to prepare a physical venue, you have to arrange for a physical venue, you have to arrive, the commute, you have to write for, you know, like for your audience to go and outreach and that kind of stuff. It's a lot that has to go into live performing. Whereas like with VR, a lot of that's facilitated, you know, by, you know, the player base, but also, you know, like the immediate interaction that you'd get, like, you know, with people, you know, I can interact with you guys and you all are like miles away. And um it's that interconnectivity that really I think is a big driving factor for that growth of the music community, I'd say. That interconnectivity of, like, you know, different creators, different audiences that you'd reach that you'd probably um, less likely than likely, but would have possibly run into if it was just, you know, in the real world. So
Okay.
I'm very grateful, you know, for the platform that VR kind of gave for me.
Okay. So what was some of your first shows like when you first started doing stuff with Corbell? What was that experience like for you? What happened?
Well, actually, although I started at open mics with Corbell and, like, you know, other open mic events, my first performance was actually with another group, that, you know, similar people that, like, you know, similar performers that like came through with those groups, but it was a collab effort with Wolfie's Hangout and Goldie's Lounge that had done an event called Ecosphere.
Ah,
um and yeah. That was one of my first ones, along with one that I wasn't really expecting at first, was one at the Jazz Lounge. That was another event that I I didn't know at first how I'd do at that, because I'd say I'm a variety musician. So like I like to dabble in all types of genres. I like to not have what's it called? I like to not have like limitations when it comes to like my music. So I like to experiment and do that kind of thing. But jazz wasn't really something I never really like explored that much until recently. And so it's really cool that I'm getting a lot of I'm getting known more for the jazz scene, when that's something that, again, it's very fresh for me. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
very excited for that. Yeah, yeah.
What kind of music do you normally sing versus jazz, may I ask?
Okay. So along with jazz now, I guess I got with pop, alternative rock, um, indie type. I do some Spanish as well, because Latin, like pop and that kind of stuff, because I'm older Latin type of songs, as to represent my heritage and all that. I like to sprinkle in some of that where I can.
Oh,
um, aside from that, I do some R&B, some soulful kind of stuff. Yeah. Big fan. Just I like to dabble where I can. I've busted out once in one of my sets, one country song, just to test the waters with you. But yeah, country's a very, yeah, it's a very hit or miss, with some audiences. But it's a genre that I each genre I come to appreciate. They're able to convey a certain message, and I am able to try to hone in on that.
okay.
But yeah.
Oh,
I got a question for Line. KitKat, what's one of the weirdest things you ever saw in VR and you thought, I'm out of here. I gotta go. What would it be?
uh Weirdest things? Uh probably probably like at
Just
the
one. We don't need a record of the whole thing you've experienced.
no,
Just
no,
one,
no.
okay?
No. I think I mean, public worlds are pretty chaotic as is. I mean, especially like just hopping into a black cat. Before the group system like was really implemented, that's all I really knew, like VR really. Like I was not really in the know of, like, the outside stuff. So yeah, uh, you'll find a lot of characters in there, doing, yeah. And especially like when they find out, like, yeah, yeah.
I like
When
how
they
she
find out,
goes, yeah, she's afraid. KitKat, you can be yourself and you can say fuck it and kiss my ass in here. We don't give a shit. It's just the way you fucking hesitate the brakes, man. You can just,
no,
should
no,
I or shouldn't I say this?
no, no. Oh my god. I mean, I think I probably ran into like I think weirdest thing, probably, like, I ran into like some people, like, public ERP, like, I don't know,
oh
that
no.
immediately was like, and bye.
Okay. We got you
Yeah,
there. We
yeah.
understand there. That's right to the goal.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
you'll
got
find some wild
another one.
people. And
I got
another
another
one.
question for. I got another one for you. When I first met you, do you remember what I said to you when I talked to you for the very first time, KitKat?
Yeah, of course.
Can you tell the
I remember.
audience what was the first thing what I said to you when I went up and talked to you?
Well, I'm gonna be paraphrasing for sure because my memory bad, but
Oh, that's
I
fine.
do I do remember you'd approached me because you had gotten stopped. I guess I was performing, I guess, in context. I was performing, I guess, doing a little like improv, like busk kind of vibe at a last Project Fest, and right in the middle of the map at the beginning. And I guess yeah, Raptor had approached me because I guess I fucking recall. Yeah, you kind of were like passing through, but then after you can correct me if that's okay. Yeah, but after passing through, you kind of like were taken aback and had to like just like come back in and sit and like watch from afar, right? And
Yep. You.
yeah, and as for like what you were, no, you had told me, correct me if it was something on the along the lines of that, like well, it was like kind of like a don't stop what you're doing, and also to pay attention to like the people that stop and listen, because those are people that you're really like touching and impacting, right? Is that about the
Yep.
just
You got it.
yeah.
You pretty much hit every bit of it on the head, right there on the head of the nail. Yeah, I mentioned pretty much when you caught my interest, and I mean, it was funny because I was walking by and there was so many people talking where she was performing at and everything else like this, and she started to key up, and I almost went completely past it because I was just roaming around and everything else like this, taking a break, and she caught me, and I went back and go, whoa, and I stood there and listened through the whole song, and you could actually hear it, and and then I turn around, and when she had nobody else was talking to her or anything, because she had so much other people BS, and they weren't really listening to what she was doing, but and everything else like this. And I turned around and said, you can tell the people that are interested in what you're doing and what you're singing is when, especially, you saw them walk by, and all of a sudden they're not in your face, but they're back listening to try to tone out everything out but you. And it was
Yeah.
I was knocked. I mean, I was literally knocked. You literally brought me back to. I mean, I was how I am, just how fuck it do running through. Whoa, and that takes a lot to bring me back to listen to somebody sing. And I don't even remember what the song you were singing, but it caught my ear, and it was enough to bring me back, and then talk to her more. But the other thing besides just that, KitKat, when you get that type of performance, what you're doing, and you see it, what's it do to you when you see something like that? Straight up.
I mean, I love, well, in the moment and also afterwards, like to be able to be approached like people like like the reason why I was able to recall, I guess, most of you, though again, brain empty most time. I have horrible memory, but I some things that impact are stuff like that, like stuff like being approached, like that, and being told, encouraging stuff like that, and I think for me as a musician, um, it's it really, the thing that drives me as a musician is really to make other people feel. And so to know that, you know, people can go ahead and passively listen, and that's cool too. I mean, I'm glad that people are willing to go ahead and, chill and, relax, like to wanting to hear me. But to truly see those people that get absolutely like floored, which is, huge honor, like to hear that like somebody got like stopped in their tracks and um really like got like moved to by what I do. It really touches me because it truly feels like I'm using this mode of expression like that I cherish to the fullest. Like I love getting to hear when like people say that like they were just so encouraged by like my performances or moved to tears. I love hearing that like people got moved to tears, like it's a nice feeling to know that I got to make others feel through through what I love to do. And so that truly means a lot to me. And so those kinds of things really stick with me along the journey, and keep pushing me and motivating me to keep going, to reach out to more people to get to perform for.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been some of your favorite
You
performances
again.
you've done?
Hmm. Hmm. Man, that's wild. Like the fact that I have a couple already under my belt to choose from. That's Um, I think maybe my favorite perform. I think either one that I had at when I got to perform for Weekend Live, or for hmm, another for probably oh man, this is tough to choose. It's like choosing one of my favorite children. What do you mean? All of them, I put so much care into choosing the sets, but I think VK Life was special for one reason, and well, for a couple reasons, but like that was special for certain reasons, and then I think Enchanted was also another one that really set an impact for me, and I think there was one recently as well that I did for Furry Springs that each of those were just very special moments for me for specific reasons.
Okay.
Not sure if you want me to go into those. I don't know.
I would love to hear why they're your favorites. Raptor and I both would.
Yes.
All right.
Very much
Well,
so.
all right. So I think VCat Live I remember was one of the biggest venues that I got to perform at. I remember so nervous because I knew for a fact I wanted to be able to present my best. I heard there was gonna be so many people watching, and I was like, how am I on the bill for this, first off? Secondly, it just I wanted to make sure I gave people a good show, and it happened to land on my birthday as well, and it was such a cool experience to get to like best like all I could really ask for a birthday gift, to be able to perform for so many people and try to like give a bit of a diversity, a variety of what I had to offer. And so that one went pretty well. I think that was the first one I tried out with certain trackers that I had. Right now I'm using the Ultimates, which I love, been most stable. But then I tried out first performance I ever had with Makopi Slime. It as usual with my performances, something always goes wrong. It failed at the last song, and I was like, okay, all right, we're just gonna keep going at this. All right. But it was still such an incredible experience. Also, just getting to have like all of my friends get to either be there to support, or some people that I've gotten to know through the Vika team get to hear me for the first time, and that was incredible. I think it was the first time I debuted this outfit and got to perform in this outfit. So I was like, which is great. I guess fun fact as well, I like to theme my performances with my outfits. So that's, I guess, something it's known for me, yeah. But I guess, yeah, for VK Live that was such a thrilling show for me. And I'm really hoping that they invite me back for the next VK Live, because that was so fun. I guess once you do it, like the band-aids ripped off and you just like the fear is all out, but like it's fun, yeah. It's like riding a roller coaster. And you just want like more, yeah. But I think afterwards was Enchanted, and Enchanted was so fun. Oh my gosh, I that was one point where I felt I can truly get back to my roots with Broadway and musical stuff. That was stuff that I touched on a lot when I was in high school, and so it was nice to be able to set up a whole set with just musicals and just Broadway type of songs that I chose, and getting to show just that kind of side of me. I was able to, because I guess before people mainly knew me for, I guess, the pop alternative alternative, some jazz, that kind of stuff. But getting to actually get back to my roots, get to do more like that Broadway style stuff. It was really, really nice. I also got to have like a princess kind of outfit just for the occasion. I was like, I'm gonna go all out if it's gonna be the case. So I'm gonna dress all up for the princess outfit, and made like a little wand scepter that I was supposed to debut with my 5 ultimates,
Hmm.
but then as scuff ends up happening, they just decided to not work right before my setup. So we just did it half body, and they worked fine. But been able to resolve that scuff thus far. I mean, so far after that. But it was nice. I It was a beautiful venue that they had set up for Enchanted. It felt like I was like straight up in a fairy tale like kind of world, and it was really enjoyable to get to like see people vibing, reminiscing to like certain songs that I brought in, and some that people were vibing with and getting to dance with. I brought some Spanish musical songs. It was great. But at the end, I was able to, on the last song, I had sang a song from the movie, or from the musical Wicked, that
Yep.
I think really resonated with me. Because I had sang that song for my high school graduation, and I used it as sort of like a dedication kind of song, because I really truly wanted it to go out to all the people that were just wanting to support me and all that. As the first time, like that event, yeah, that event was the first time I was a headliner, and so I truly wanted to have like that last song be like a dedication to the people that had gotten me to this point, and an appreciation to them being there through this journey with me, and still sticking by that, because I got to know them, that I'd been changed like for good. Like this is I I wouldn't be at this point like without the people that have come into my life and supported me like since then. So I yeah, it was a really beautiful point in Enchanted. And then I guess the last one was the one that for Furry Springs. That one was fun. Mainly because I felt like I had a lot of growth, I'd say, in my vocal technique. I've been training, I guess, and rediscovering my voice since I decided to start taking my singing on here seriously. I got a coach that she understands me like very well, and has been able to work with, I guess, finding like tweaking the small things, and rediscovering on that. And I for that one, since there wasn't exactly a theme, I decided to just go very experimental, and so experimental I did. I had songs in there from Evanescence that Bird Satan had recommended me to go in, and he was there, and he's big encouragement, very big inspiration for me. Very honored to like have him as a friend. He's a very straightforward talent as it is, but very very, very caring to go ahead and help where I can. And so he's been a big encouragement for me in stepping into to wanting to like dabble in the rock scene and all that in VR. He's kind of like compared me at times to Amy Lee, which is such huge like such huge honor to be compared like that. But yeah, he suggested one of the songs, and I was like, you know what, next event that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring that in. And so I did, and he seemed pretty happy with how it did. And yeah, I was glad to be able to do that. And other experimental stuff, I threw in a song from Chicago, not the musical, the group. Um, I threw in a ska song, which I haven't like performed ska, let alone heard ska since I was in like middle school, maybe. um, I I also got to debut a cover that I worked on with uh, one of my closest besties, Lady Melody. She's been also like huge inspo. She's amazing and such a huge support for me in my journey. And she had wanted to she had arranged a whole instrumental and like played the guitar on a cover for a song from Arcane called What Could Have Been. And she had handed it off to me to be able to hopefully like use it in my live performances. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna be my last song. I and luckily she was able to get there for the set to be able to see it herself. And I was really really glad that I was able to pull through and be able to do that for her. Yeah. So it was a lot of firsts, and I like to have a lot of firsts. Because it just keeps me growing, keeps me on my toes, and lets me know, there's always so much to be able to grow and learn in music, and it really opens, it opens up for me just the fact that there's so much more ways that I can, express and reach the crowd and be able to do all that, with the more that I learned. So it's fun to get to dabble on experimenting with new things. Yeah.
So
That's it. That's yeah.
okay. Well, I think those are all really great experiences that you've had, and we've. What about those 3 experiences differed from the others you've done? And what about your performances of VR made you want to pick up a vocal coach? Whoa, what are you doing here? This is wild.
What are you doing here?
I was here to remind these guys of something. What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you going to remind them about, Lion? I wanted to remind them about something too.
By the way, did you have fun at pjkt or VCAT this year? Is there another convention that you're looking forward, but it's kind of not the season? Well, there's one coming up for Halloween that would be definitely down your alley if you're into spooky, scary stuff as well, which is HorrorCon, which is October 26th and 27th this year. So you should definitely go. See booze, people make stuff here in VR. Lots of crazy stuff for you to go check out.
There's also going to be DJs as well as many different worlds and events, from panels to amazing things along the way. You'll have to check it out. It is a 2-day event, like Lion said, October 26th and 27th. Make sure to be there. Go down in the description, discord.gg/pjkt, and also HorrorCon's Discord will also be down there as well. Go check it out. It'll be an amazing time. You'll probably see us there. There's a lot of amazing people, from horror creators to world creators of the horror genre, all sorts of stuff. You don't want to miss it.
Not at all. Go down the description. Everything you need to know to find out where to go to attend is right down below in the Hoobly What's the Thingy down there. So sorry to interrupt your current viewing pleasure. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of whoever the guest is at this moment. I don't know who it is.
There's a lot. There's going to be a lot. We'll see you at HorrorCon. Woo!
See you at HorrorCon. May I ask?
So I guess for the first one, I suppose those I remember those being very high stress for me, because I wanted to make sure I did a good job with those performances. I feel like the other ones, for some reason, I felt much more lax, much more like confident. Like, okay, these are stuff that I'm more familiar with. These are stuff that I've prepared. I'm solid. I can make sure that this is going to be a good show, and I can reach these. And even still, the other performances that I've had, I truly appreciate each and every one of them as well, because each of them still have a point that I can recall back to, that are truly like was impactful for me after the show, after either trying out a new song that I always try to add in a new song in my sets, or hearing like other people's feedback, interacting with other people that I I came across because of said performances that people wanted to approach me, and that's a lot of connections that I made along the way. And that's why when you told me to choose, I was like, I can't even choose one. I'll try to choose top 3 maybe, but they're all they're all really special to me. Because the fact that I'm given the chance to perform is just special enough as is. The fact that I'm given the chance to be able to be in front of people and them want to sit and listen to what I do, and hopefully continue in the future. So I guess that's that. They're all impactful, but I think the ones that I recalled, I remember for sure, like those were big stress times that I really wanted to push through, and I guess because of that push through, it left such an impact that like they're at the top like for now. But I'm sure there's gonna be plenty more of that as I progress. And I guess for the for the second question, I guess for me, when I first was starting out, I recalled how I was like back when I was actively learning, when I had like my teachers and that kind of stuff back in high school and in university. And when I was getting back into it again, I was very rusty. I hadn't been doing a lot with my singing, aside from just casually singing around the house, singing in the shower, usual things. um I hadn't done much like after all that time had passed, and I felt like I'd lost a lot of like the technique that I'd had. The passion was still there, the ear to pick up stuff was still there. I pick up stuff fairly quickly. At least that's what my teacher says. But a lot of the technique that I had built up felt a bit lost, and so when I saw that there was a platform here in VR, and it was so mind blowing for me. I was like, maybe I should try to try this out, try take this seriously, and if I'm going to take it seriously, I want to be able to give my best at it. So that encouraged me to reach out to my old vocal teacher back in high school. She's no longer like doing teaching anymore, but she had referred to me to a teacher like meeting, I guess, site that connects you to other teachers that are with your similar skill set, what you're looking for. And that's where like I was able to find my current vocal teacher, and she's been an absolute she's been incredible. I'm very like glad that I found someone that truly, I guess, connects with me on similar levels, not only like with passion for music, but also uh we're both autistic and have ADHD as well. And so to be able to find someone that truly like connects on a similar level mentally, to be able to explain like certain bits on like about the technique to truly like get it. I feel like finding that connection truly has allowed me to have continued growth in my performance and my expression in my music. And so with that, I truly wanted something like that to be able to hone my voice, hone my craft, and be able to progress. And she's been incredibly supportive in my stuff with VR. I mean, I at my one of my first jazz things, because jazz was like one of her specialties, so that's why it was very funny to see like, oh, I got invited to this jazz thing, and she was like, well, don't worry, I got you. I got all these different songs for you to go and learn. So I learned a whole bunch of new stuff that I had never really dabbled in before, which is very fun. But yeah, for the first one that I had gone to, I actually got her to get into VRChat. Like I got her to make an account. and get in VR. Like she didn't have a assistant to really handle it. Like she runs Mac first off, but luckily like a neighbor of hers had not only like a great like PC but also had a headset, and so she was able to go ahead and experience it for the first time and was absolutely in love. She was like, KitKat, you're going to cause me to do some spending that I am not prepared to do. Because she was so, yeah, she loved it. She loved it. So I was really glad that I got to show that to her, and she's really excited and supportive for every time she hears about either like new ventures, like new gigs in VR, or different like collaborations, because that's another thing that I've gotten into, like with meeting other musicians in VR. I've come across a lot of like nice friends that have been great support, and wanting to work together. And so I getting to dabble like at the begin like at the beginnings of songwriting, and working at trying to learn how to produce good recordings for release. It's all new, but I've been able to get help from her, as well as she has like background as well with like song creation and
Oh,
all
wow.
that. So it's been really, yeah, it's been really nice to get that support as I guess venture into this new side as well.
Hmm. So I have a question for you on the topic of you and your teacher. What was it like having your teacher come to one of your shows?
It was cool. It was so funny. I loved getting her reaction because so at that first one we weren't really like able to get out to the people until the end of the show, and I was like probably like in the middle of the set. But I I had checked before when like she was like getting in. She's like, "Wow, this is so cool! Oh my gosh!" And getting her texts, and and then afterwards, getting the text afterwards is like, "Oh my gosh, you did so good!" And then just like it was so funny to get her reaction, um, in like from her first experience in VR, and it was very cool, like to get to see her out in the stage as well, because I guess with her I drifted my leg. All right, that's fine. I guess with her, what's it called? I I had explained a bit about like with VR, but like she didn't really know what was really like all about until like she got in, and I got to see her there in the crowd. I like pointed at her to like shout her out, like, and it was really cool to get to introduce her to that space, and to see her excitement like while she was there. It was a really cool experience to get to bring someone in and get to introduce them to the space.
Oh, so also as well,
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like you're just dabbling into writing your own music.
Yeah. That's it's a new thing for me. I don't really. So when I was younger, like I said, I'm passionate about different creative experience, creative fields and all that. And like when I was younger, I had dabbled a bit with like poetry and all that. So I felt a bit like stiff in a bit of my writing, but I still had a passion to be able to write and convey messages and all that. That's that power of music, the getting to go ahead and convey a message, to the people. So, I think first time I had gone ahead and wrote a song. One of my friends, Vanessa Wolf, she was looking to. It was around the closing of Artifacts, and she was looking to have like a send off song for them. And she was, showing me her stuff, showing me like what stuff she had set up for her set. But I had mentioned, like I'm a singer, you know. I do singing stuff, and I wanted to give a shot at songwriting if possible. You know, I had some things up in the writing book, you know, but I didn't really have a finished one until I guess she reached out to me. It's like, hey, I have this kind of concept that I want to send off for the closing of Artifacts, and do you mind if if you could put some lyrics to it? And so I had scrambled because at first she said that it was going to be in about a week or so, and I was like, okay, maybe I got some time. But then later on that day, she was like, oh wait, it's not the next Saturday, it's this Saturday. And I
Oh.
think she had told me that when it was Wednesday. And so I was like, so I had scrambled. I was like, how am I going to write a song in 2 days? So I was panicking. Luckily, she had fleshed out the kind of, energy that she wanted, the kind of message she wanted to go for, so I could go off of that. And my first thoughts kind of like connected to, I guess, some of the background of like the group, and with that I was able to try to go out and collect the story, to really send off, have a goodbye of like, although gone, they will always be with us, like the stars in the sky, and so I happened to manage to scramble a song in 2 days, and then Friday I had recorded it roughly, and then she was able to go ahead and put it in the song, and that was my first very rough version of my first written song constellation, and it was wild, but because of just the circumstances,
Yeah.
but it kind of stirred up that, again, like just how I guess performing first in VR stirred up that drive. It kind of, at the same time, stirred up that drive that I can, aside from just doing, covers and doing different genres and all that, I can actually make my own stuff. The most I can really do is sing and write, but and I don't really know much on the rest of the production, stuff that needs to go into making a song. But luckily, I have a lot of friends that I've gotten to know along the way, and they have been very much supportive of me to continue on, and also, I will probably eventually, when I find that they got time, pick their brain and learn from them as I have been. So, um, very very grateful, for that. But yeah, since then I had written another song with Vanessa, and along with Lydia and Melody, my bestie, she's on the track as well. She was able to do the guitar instrumental for it, and that was one that we had debuted for Abbey Fair when Abbey Fair came around. Vanessa had a set there, and she had it for her last song, and it was really cool. Different kind of vibe that I've never really like played around with, but yeah, it was very 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 fun song to play around with, because we got a very general kind of vibe at the beginning. She had a track that she built up. We knew we wanted a villain song. That was what we had. That was what we started with. A villain song. That's it. And so, I was like, okay, we'll work with that. And I it was really cool to make a song that kind of described the origins, feeling like of a villain that felt like very scorned by society, scorned by the world, trying to just go and be genuine self, but still made to feel like wrong, lesser as the villain. To after the point of, I guess, after, constantly trying to appease, constantly seeing that, like, their efforts weren't enough, so they just gave in, and so they became the villain. That sort of like was created by these people, by the externals, and so it's a really cool concept. I'm really excited to get to flesh it out a bit more. We did debut it there, but that song, that's Monster That You See, as well as Constellation, I'm hoping to revisit them to be able to, now that I've grown a bit more vocally, do proper renditions of them, and hopefully, release them. And I know that the girls want to eventually do a music video with Monster That You See, so that would be very fun.
Ooh.
Because I've never really thought of doing it's so cool. I it's such a cool thing of doing a music video. I've seen incredible stuff being made in VRChat, so I mean, just to be able to do something like that, it'll be I'm excited.
I'm excited for you.
So,
That sounds like a really
yeah.
awesome opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it'd be so fun. And I'm sure again we will definitely need help for sure, because I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, especially like choreo reason. I'm sure I can reach out to your girl Crispy. She's just like I mean she's incredible again, like with her choreography. So I mean I would love to be able to pick her brain a bit, probably get some pointers. So it'll be cool to set up the scening and all that. So yeah,
Oh,
be fun.
yeah. So with
Yeah.
Monster That You See, I have a few questions. What led to the themes for the song, may I ask? What made you want to choose that whole story arc in order to write the song about?
Well, I think it was a bit of so I got inspired a bit with the backing track that Vanessa had put together first. I felt that it definitely needed something with rage, because it just that's the energy that it felt at the end for sure. And so it felt very I felt like maybe possibly like a very empowering kind of song at the end, like to be able to take it by the own reins and just make with it what you will. Becoming like not allowing others to control, like like just going about like them putting you in your own place, instead taking it and running with it. I guess in personal experience, although I wouldn't necessarily I say that I personally became villain myself, but I know in yeah, no, I'm far from that. It's very off from like stuff that I myself do and am, I guess. But I think in growing up, I had always really like dealt with a lot of external judgment and predetermined like views of myself, stuff that I couldn't shake, even though like again I always showed like the best sides of me. At least I tried to, always trying to be kind, be and all that stuff. And so but so I guess those beginning portions really resonated with I guess similar origins that I've dealt with, similar feelings of rejection, of being my own self, and constantly having to appease to not really end up getting anywhere, because in the end people are going to think what they want, and in the end, or at least for me, I guess the thing that I guess breaks me off the path, though I would say in the end I kind of broke off the path, but like in another sense, but still it came to embracing stuff, and then taking control of your own life rather than what other people expect of you and think of you. So overall, it touched on a lot of, I guess, that reflection of that. Despite the outside perspective of others, um, others are going to think what they will. Others are going to make of you what they will, and that's going to be completely out of your control. And that's unfortunate, but is life. So in the end, rather than trying to appease others, it's important to just focus on you yourself. What you want to go ahead and put out to yourself. If other people see it, then that's great. But it's much more fulfilling to go ahead and rather than trying to appease others, embrace truly like who you want to be. And so I guess for the turn of the story, that person decided we're not gonna we're like they were done trying to go ahead and play nice. Like this is where I guess, and this possibly like future story to build off afterwards. But I guess turning point from someone fed up with giving in to going ahead and just taking the reins and showing them like the monster that they created, all that. But I truly do want to build off that a bit more, to be able to build a story off of that, because it's a good concept, to be able to touch on the impact of others versus embracing of oneself. Possibly, no, I'm not gonna, I just came up with something to build off of, but I'm gonna leave that to brainstorming me, eventually. But yeah, I will, I have some ideas as to how I want to progress with that story.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to see what you do with
Yeah.
it, to be honest. I'm sure Raptor and I both are.
Thank you.
Oh, you know it. I'm wait. Like I said, I've only seen you perform one time and everything else like this, and I almost got close to see you a second performance and everything
true.
else like that, and everything else. And
Yeah, you
just
kinda
missed
should.
it. I missed that.
Yeah.
I show up when
Yeah.
the people I want to listen to, and I'm a little always $1 short, and so all I get is change. But that's just the way fucking things fall. But I'm still there for everybody else, no matter who the performance is. But you want to hear that ring again, and like TMF Johnny, listen to always want to hear him perform. I've wanted to hear you perform again. I've heard a couple other people play something I haven't. Go, whoa, okay. There's people. There's a lot of people in here that you just don't think is in here, and there's tons. Just
Yeah.
they just need somebody to open the door for them. And wow, look what you've done, and I'm impressed. I really am. I was impressed the first time I heard you sing. So
Thank you.
you're
Oh,
welcome.
again, yeah, that always means a lot. I'm surprised where I'm at as well. I mean, but I'm really excited, for like where I'm at in this journey, and continuing to push on and grow more. I'm
Okay, so
really glad.
on the
Yeah.
KitKat, on that, where do you want to go? Where's your dream that you want to fulfill? Knowing that you will never fill it, but where do you want to go?
And I never. I Okay, I guess we're putting out dream scenarios. I want to be maybe not the face, but like partnership with KitKat brand. I want a flavor of my own. Like eventually when I get big like that. And maybe one day. I want yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I mean it goes to my MO. No, but it's serious. That's just a goof that I always push out. But seriously, KitKat, I mean if you are listening and watching, I mean chocolate and strawberry. I mean, I know that you have that, but me? I don't know. But aside from that, aside from all that,
Okay. Wow.
but aside, yeah, no. Aside from that, for me personally, as a musician, I mean, I didn't really think that again, like I would get so at this point, like at this pace, getting booked, that kind of stuff. I do want to see myself grow to a point where, again, I feel confident with producing and releasing music. I feel like there's a lot of stories in me that have yet to be told that I really want to get out to the world, and share that. And so I'm really excited for that growth as I continue to progress vocally as a songwriter and that kind of thing. I'm not expecting anything big or massive, following wise, Um, but as long as I feel like the songs get to the people that they gotta get to, that's what matters to me, And so I definitely know that for me as a creator, um, I I do want to go ahead and promote like a sense of individuality, embracing individuality, and embracing self, and encouraging others to be able to go for their dreams. Write that story that they've been wanting to write, do the things that they want to do. And I guess currently I'm trying to slowly but surely, I guess, show that by example. I guess I'm starting at like base, even though I guess I have that background in music, but I I'm starting, with just being open to what I can learn, being open to what I can do, open to opportunities, open to, collaborations, to find things to learn and grow, to get myself to do the things that I want to do. And I truly want to be able to be a person that can tell that through story and through, I guess, my music, that others can do that too, and that others should be very much wanting to go ahead and um, be their unique self. I I feel like for me in growing up, I had always been really like either ridiculed or really put down. I guess like for me being myself, but I feel like me being myself is my strongest self. And so especially it's the self that truly, will make me happy in the end. And that's what living's about, being happy. And so if I can spread that to others, that happiness and positivity, and encourage others as I've tried to do to go after the things that they want to do and help as much as I can, that's where I want to see myself doing. I don't know if I have big aspirations on, as to where I'll be like fame wise and that kind of, I don't really like see myself for that. um but I think putting out the messages that I want to put out is definitely for sure what I want to focus in on. And hmm, I don't know. Just getting to hmm, explore all the different types of genres and music that the world has to have. I call myself variety because I just have that interest of how music touches the soul, touches people. And for me, like I love to get to explore different genres. I get to see like what makes them, like what makes them, what draws them, what makes people feel, and how I can be a part of that. How I can really like hone that. And so I think, yeah, just as far as my curiosity will take me, just being able to venture and see, like, what else the world has to offer. And with such a connected space like VRChat, I mean, it's definitely like broadened my horizons, and I'm, very grateful for that.
Oh, no, I have a two-layered question for you, both of which probably aren't even relatively related to each other, but I'm going to ask them both anyway. One is, what was the first song that touched you, like made you feel that way? Two, where did the themed outfits come from for your avatar?
I could probably touch on the second one better than the first one.
Okay.
Because now you're really making me choose like between my babies. Like, oh no,
Why you're talking about the way the woman dresses herself? What the hell? What's wrong with you?
no, that's fine. That's
Wow.
fine.
No,
I love
you just
getting
don't
to go
see.
ahead and
You just don't
like
see a
that's
lot. You just
gonna-
don't see a lot of people do like themed outfits and stuff for their avatars. Usually, it's like you wear one thing for your avatar and that's it. And you've gone through lengths of like doing various outfits for your shows. I was curious. Hello, we're here to interrupt the most interesting thing being said in our current video to ask you a favor, which is, would you mind joining us at any of the socials we have, such as Discord? We're hanging out all the time playing video games, so you can catch us there very frequently. We have I run Twitter for us, which is LionTurtle21 on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. It'll always be Twitter, but either way, there's that. We also have a Patreon, which we actually have a whole other show for our Patreon members, which are Aliquum and the newest addition to the bunch, Future Oracle.
Niche and Forbidden Zero, good friends of ours.
Yeah, thank you very much, you guys, for joining. It means a whole lot that you're there, and hope to see you there as well. We have a whole other show. There are some free ones we have released as well for the audio for you to listen to and to see what it's like. It's like a whole other show, so thank you. With that said, please enjoy the rest of your podcast on YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can touch on the second one first as I give myself a little buffer time to think on the first one. But I guess for me, I've always seen myself as like a showmany kind of like performer. Although I realistically, I like in person, I'm a very introverted type. You know, like I feel like in getting to see me in you know, on a day to day, you'll see like I'm very reserved, very quiet kind of thing. But it when it comes to being on the stage, like that's been a thing since like probably middle school that I've just donned like the role, like, you know, performer, and like just decided like I love getting to be very extra with my performances, getting to really like show, you know, like if in performing, you know, I want to put on a show. And so when it came to you know, working on my avatar, learning first off, I guess, being able to customize my avatar to fit me, you know. I I first more so like took it and I was like, wow, I can the style that I wish I could have IRL, I can just do that here. I can make me look and dress the way that I wish I could IRL if I can find, you know, the clothes that fit my aesthetic. I feel like I got a very lovecore kind of aesthetic, and so I love getting to hone that and be able to run with that. But to be able to I guess hone like a core style, and especially when performances have themes, I love just going all out for them. Like if I like one time I had there was a performance that I was invited to for Virtual Fest, and for there they gave me theme Treasure Planet, and I was like, wow, that's sick. Oh my god, I hadn't watched that movie in ages, and I was like, wow, that's such a nostalgic kind of vibe. And I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I immediately was like, okay, so we're going to go pirate theme, obviously. The idea to make cyber pirate came a little bit later, I guess, like as I saw like, oh, this is possible, you know. But I love getting to like venture for like different outfits. Like a booth has my wallet just in grip. It always. um, but there was an outfit that I found that was like a perfect pirate outfit, and it wasn't made for my base, but I had reached out to the maker, and the maker was so sweet and is so willing to be able to help out. Like I reached out to them around like Thursday, Friday, and they were like, "Yeah, sure, I can get that for you done in the weekend." And I was like, "The weekend? Really? Okay." And so it was so quick. It's such quick response, and like I was able to go ahead and work with it afterwards to make my outfit. and it was so sweet that like at that performance, the maker had tuned into the stream to be able to watch the show and see like my performance in their outfit. And it was so nice to get to like, you know, I got the message afterwards and the screenshot, and like they really enjoyed, you know, the performance. And yeah, but for themed purposes, I like to always go with a theme, like if there is one. If there's not, it's full, like, you know, up in the air, and I'm just like, all right, we're just gonna experiment, like I did in the I'm blanking. The last performance that I had mentioned before, the Furry Springs, yeah, the concert series, yes. I like to just full out take the time to be experimental, and so that's what I do. But when it comes to theme stuff, like I really like to hone in on the theme. If it's a jazz event, I set up like my jazz outfit and set up my jazz set. For the virtual fest one with the treasure planet themed, I set up like a full like piratey type of like set, or like a oceany kind of like set, to get to sing. And I like to fit the themes. It gives me a challenge, you know, like where sometimes with artists, like having limitations it could be a good thing, because you can really like push yourself to extents that you couldn't really do if it wasn't for having the limitations. So for me, I always take it as a challenge to be able to be like, okay, this is the thing we're going for. What kind of show are we going to be putting on, and how are we gonna do this? So that's usually how I like to do with my fits for me. And so that's why I'm always getting more outfits, and Booth has so much of my money. So because I don't know, it feels like, you know, it reminds me of back in performing IRL, like in on stages, and you know, just typical like uh costume changes, and you know, you wear the fit, and then you embrace the role. Like this is like, you know, this is where you get to, you know, just embrace that role, and fully be that, like for that short amount of time that you get to be on that set, whether it's 15, 30 an hour. That's you know, you get to play that role, and so it's very fun. As for the first question, first song that really moved me,
Wow, here it comes.
uh, okay, I think, first song that really moved me. That's tough. I think hmm, yeah, that's really tough. You know, because I guess with different genres, I mean, I have plenty of different, like, you know, favorites when it comes to the different genres, different groups that have done amazing stuff. Um, Different things of expressing, you know, in their music. But it's always difficult for me to choose a favorite, you know, because I don't know, it's hard to really hone down, like, you know, each genre has like certain tops, like, you know, like that have like done incredible stuff for you know, expression and that kind of stuff. And it's hard to choose. I can at least hone it down to like favorite group that I really, you know, enjoy what they're doing. And oh my gosh, if I could get to collaborate with them at some point, I would die. um that would be for me, like the gorillas. I do love the gorillas. I I I they've been a favorite of mine since I was younger. I think I really honed back into them like back when in university, when they just revived out of nowhere. Um I think them, also Daft Punk as well. I love Daft Punk. Incredible robot boys, yeah. But had so much soul, like, you know, in and the things that they did, truly like made you feel, but also pushing the boundaries, like pushing, what was there, um, I would just love to be able to strive to get to that point, to be able to push my own, sense and break some walls and do something that's really me, and I feel like those kinds of groups truly got that. I think Adele is a big moving factor for me as well in growing up. Adele was definitely an artist that really inspires me. That had inspired me in growing up, and a lot of the songs that I had started, singing in middle school and high school were like a lot of Adele songs, and I feel like her way of performance, her way of not like I guess physical performance, but like vocal performance, truly resonates with like how I perform. I feel like for her, like she's very much a sucker punch into like the gut with like those like with her belting, and just just she's very emotive, and that's kind of like the performer I kind of strive to be. And so yeah, I can at least narrow it down to those for inspirations. And
Okay.
those that have really moved me. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll ask you another question that's going to be
Yeah.
really hard with the same vein of a few favorites. Of your outfits,
Ah.
if you could give us a handful of ones that you like, of all of them that you made, what would they be? What shows would they be for?
I mean, I can show them if you want.
We'd love to see them.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
hold on.
yeah.
I turn around. I don't want to get in trouble for looking at things I ain't supposed to. It's
No,
against the
don't
rules.
worry, don't worry. They're clothes. Trust.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm on the same
You're
page. I
good.
don't want to, get in trouble.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So first off, I do love me my here, I'll switch to the first one. This is my enchanted outfit. This one's one that I absolutely loved. This is that princess one that I was telling you about. I had worked very, very hard on it to, give that kind of princess-esque vibe, It was the one point in time that I was gonna be able to dress as a little princess, sing my little musical songs. I was gonna go the full yard. So this was one of them that I loved. And with each one, I always tried to, if possible, learn something new with avatar creation. It's just a common thing with me. I always try to learn something new when it comes to doing stuff. And this one I had let me see, where is it? There it is. I learned how to make particle effects. And so I made this little heart trail for this, and it was very fun getting to go and use it in the show. It just got to be able to make more gesturing a lot more fun, Get to, do a little love spell on them, So, yeah.
Not to be rude to you, KitKat, but I've been looking around and wonder where Mario's at and trying to make sure we're not in the castles and you're just trying to, save your situation.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, I don't know if I'd be like that kind of damsel, but I mean, yeah, to have the princessy kind of vibe, I enjoy just getting dressed up a little bit. So much so, I'm really glad that let's call it one thing that I didn't think would happen out of the blue. Like I reached out to by an artist. You probably Dull Dummy.
I remember
Yeah.
you and I talking about this before last time we saw each other. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah. Dull Dummy had Dull Dummy reached out to me to want to draw me, and that was cool. I never thought I'd be approached to be like, "Hey, can I draw you?" And I was like, "Yeah." They really liked the fact that I guess for me, my what they told me was that my avatar is very unique because they don't see a lot of people with curly hair in VR. And so to get to and they said that they love getting to draw curly hair, and rightfully so. The picture came out phenomenal. Oh my gosh. um so you know they really wanted the chance to be able to draw someone with curly hair. And so I was like, me, hello. Hi. I will do that. Hello, yes. And so I had showed, like, I'm not gonna jump on somebody wanting to go ahead and draw me. I would love that. So I had shown them through like some of my outfits, and when I landed on this one, they were like, "I can work with this," and I was like, "Yes, please do," because that was like right before Enchanted came around, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, to get this drawn, like I just got this like set up, and to have this outfit get drawn, it was so pretty." I currently have it now as my profile picture for Twitter and for my Discord, and all that. It's very cute. I have yet to change it on this one, but I should. It's such a beautiful job, and got to see them draw it live, and I got to even like see the finished like results like in VR. It was so cool. But yeah, this one's really fun. I love this one. I can also show the pirate one, which was really cool to get to work on. Why am I massive? Hold on. There we are. Okay, that's better. But yeah, for this pirate one, this one was really fun to get to work with. I experimented a bit with a little bit of audio link, but also doing contact toggles. So that was what I was able to learn with this one. So I can actually brandish my sword and all that, and that was fun to get to do during the performance. Getting to point it out. Incredible photographers that I've met along the way take amazing photos of my outfits, and I'm so happy to get photos and stuff from my friends. I got some photos from from my friend Yamazakura. She's incredible photographer. As well as like other ones like Karen. I think you guys were there when Karen stopped in at the VCAT ambassador event, and little photo shoot commences always when Karen's there, and I love him because he's so good. And yeah, I love getting to go ahead and show my fits, get to show them for events, and get to play the role and the part with them. So it's really fun to get to make these fits and stuff my own. I have a pretty like standard color scheme, I guess, so it's pretty solid to get to follow through. And at least from what I've heard from others, they say that my avatars are pretty identifiable. So even if I'm in another outfit, it's pretty like clear to tell that that's me. So it's very cool to get to know that I'm still able to play around a good bit and still be identifiable, recognizable. And so it's very cool. I loved getting to work with like the robotic parts and get to include like different audio link stuff with little joints and all that. It was a very fun experience with this one. And I think a tried and true classic that I always love to use was the first time I needed to make a jazz outfit, which this one's a bit wonky. So yep, this dress does not like to sit down, but it's okay, it blocks. But I can stand though, if you want to, if you truly want to get to see the dress. But yes, this is my jazz outfit. I love the boa. It is such a cute addition to it. I did a lot of kit bashing with different booth outfits, and so this one truly was just a mishmash of all of them together. But it came out to my standard jazz fit that I love to use. Very a swinger-esque kind of a loungy type of feel. And so this one's one that I use pretty often. I like to get to come back to this one and get to put on a good, very jazzy-ish kind of vibe. Though I made a new one that I'm going to be debuting on Sunday at my next performance. That
Oh.
I guess I give a bit of a reveal. Yeah, that I can play around with a bit with it.
Well,
See.
to be fair, this will be releasing
Yes.
well after Sunday, so to the audience, it'll be
That's
weeks after
totally
the
fine.
fact. Oh wow, that's beautiful.
Perfect. That works for me. Yeah. This is the newest one
Nice
that I've
work.
worked on. Yeah. Yeah. This outfit I immediately when I found out, I was like, yes, this is definitely going to be the newest one, especially since the theme that we were going for was a very like the event didn't really have a theme, but the world had a theme. And so with that I was like, I can work with this. You know, I can do it with this one. And so I saw that it had a very like overgrown type of like floral kind of theme because it was based on the previous events world, but just collapsed and overgrown and that kind of thing. So I had found this outfit. I very much loved like the floral like kind of like design that like felt very reminiscent to like the flowers that are found in the world. Also has a bit of like a crystal kind of like a theme. So I loved like the crystal elements that are like in the outfit. And so that's how I guess built up to deciding that this was going to be the outfit that I wanted to use. And so yeah, I'm probably gonna build off a set with this outfit in mind. It feels very, again, like the previous one, very like swinger-esque kind of loungy kind of feel. So I'm very excited to get to use this one. And I again, I love getting photos taken in these outfits. I got a little like photo shoot yesterday by one of the photographers for the event, a solo, also another amazing photographer friend. I love them. They're amazing. And so yeah, a lot of fun outfits that I like to work with, theme with, and a lot of things that I'll probably show in the future. It's or come up with in the future. Um, so I'm very excited to get to work more with different styles. But in the end, I like to get to stick with outfits that feel very me. And get to make different outfits that I wouldn't necessarily be able to wear IRL. And so I but truly do like feel like my aesthetic, I can't really find where are you gonna find a fit like this. Like where are you gonna find a fit, I don't know. The closest thing I have is like a jacket that looks exactly like this one. That's it. So that's the closest thing I'm gonna get to Justin like me. But it's fun to get to play a little dress up and feel like I can express how I am. Aside from like like my music, but like my costumes and that kind of stuff feel very very me. So yeah,
Okay.
those are my top 3 outfits, I suppose.
Okay. So, last final questions before we close up. First of which, the name you have. Where did it come from, and why do you still use it?
So I used to just be KitKat. KitKat had stuck to me about maybe back in high school. That was when like my first rendition of myself had been drawn by one of my friends. And it's a pretty rough version of me, but it was really it kind of shaped to the KitKat that had become me now. It's based on me, based on I guess me being like a fan of sweets, but also very cat-like, and so I embrace like that kind of like mixture of the two. I like to embrace like those qualities into like like what dawns as me, and so I was like, yeah, KitKat very much fits. And so then when first putting myself out onto, I guess, socials and that kind of stuff, I started first as KitKatSings, but then because I, KitKat and I sing, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, I know, right? Original is great, yeah. But I think at some point, I think I had ran into a situation where KitKatSings was not available. And so I was like, oh no, I don't want numbers in my name. What are we gonna do? And so I guess I tagged along KitKatSingsMeow. Like I tagged along meow in the name, and that stuck. And I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna add the meow part. I mean, just to really emphasize, the cat bits of me. Yeah. So it really, like, my name had really just been very fundamental but core parts of just who I am. KitKats with like the sweets and like sweet kind of like nature again, like I tried to like put out and all that, but also just a foodie, in general. Things, with music being such an important aspect for my life, for expression and all that. Me, and then yeah, because I'm a cat. Yeah. I don't know. I'm as cat-like as I feel like as I feel like someone can be. I think nature-wise, at least the cats that I've had, very curious in nature, very chaotic at times, or like clumsy at times, but very good-natured, and just slow to warm up, but um, will be very caring and attached, like to those that I feel good vibes from.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Okay.
I think that's essentially just me. Yeah.
Well,
As simple as it gets.
well, thank you very much for letting us know the story of your name and the avatar you're in. Why choose it?
Course.
And is there anything special about that made you choose that scheme, or anything particular that means anything on the avatar to you?
Well, my favorite color's always been pink. Yeah, I think in growing up, I mean, I was always again like very ridiculed for again being so passionate and strong about like things that I like, and I guess my interest in pink was one of them, I guess, and so um when it came to my aesthetic and or just the things that I like, and the positivity that I try spread, and the love that I try to spread and all that, I really got drawn to like the love core kind of vibe. And so when it comes to that aesthetic, that's very much what I draw to. And so stuff with a lot of hearts, stuff that like play with like the pinks and the reds, the kind of like love aesthetic. That's very much, I guess, the kind of energy that I try to put out. I'm a very hopeless romantic at heart. I am very passionate for the things that I do. I love getting to go ahead and meet new people. I love getting to go and try new things. Love and passion are very core things that I feel like I associate with myself. And so um, that's, I guess, why I like to, wherever I can, you know, as much as my avatar, it's a build off of like different bases, of course, in booth and different stuff together. But I've made it to feel like it very much represents me, but also the parts of me that like I wish I could go ahead and show without like judgment and that kind of stuff in person. Just me being unapologetically myself, and not being told again like I'm like weak for like being like so like over caring, or like being very like a lot of these things that I guess about myself had been very um made to be, I guess, an issue for like for me. I've just never really understood why, which I think I don't really understand why, probably because of my autism. I was just like, oh, it's not hurting anyone, why am I why is that such an issue to just like pink, or be very like caring, and like very try to like be very like positive, and like put myself out there for others and all that. But I think with here, it's it really allows me to go ahead and have that ability to express those things, about myself. So that's why I very much don the whole thing of like wearing my hearts on my sleeve with pride and being able to be very like, caring to, other people that I come across and hopefully, be able to show with like the passion that I have and be able to portray that, in what I do and who I am and um yeah, and I guess the brown is also, just playing off of the sweets vibe, the chocolate vibe. Because that's yeah. So the color combination is that, and the love core vibe is as I described before. Yeah, but overall, it's essentially me. I like to I donned the curly hair because that's how I look IRL and I wanted something that felt very me, and so having a base with with a pair of cat ears and a tail and getting a dress in my favorite color and all that. That's as me as it gets.
Well, KitKat, thank you so very much for letting Raptor and I get to know you, hear your story from when you started, and all the
Yes,
events
very
you've
much
did in
so.
your music. Thank you.
You know it.
Indeed.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really glad that I got to get to sit with y'all. I was actually like pretty nervous for this, but I'm I'm really glad because I usually feel like I fumble a lot of my words, but I mean somehow I made it. So yeah.
You did wonderfully.
Thank y'all for being incredible hosts.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
No problem. It's just as much our pleasure to have you here and hear your story as it is you being here. So again, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Again, thank you so much for having me.
Nope. Where can the
Ah,
audience find you if
so
they
fun.
wish to find you?
Oh, okay. So if you want to follow me on socials, I am KitKatSingsMeow on all socials, pretty much. And if you'd like to go ahead and see what I do in VR and performing, I have a group that's called KitKat's Cafe. If you'd like to go ahead and follow, I try to go ahead and announce where I can, where I'm performing next. Also in my Discord as well, which you'll find in I guess my card, kitkatsingsmeow.card.co. But yeah, follow me on my socials, follow my group, and stay tuned. Hopefully, I would love to get to the chance to get to perform for y'all.
Well, all of that will be in the description right down that way in the thingamabobble that says description. All the links will be right down there for you to click at your own pleasure and leisure. Before we hand it off to Raptor to shut it down, we can ask you, the audience, a question, which will be based on something that KitKat said earlier. What was the last time you got a really close deadline for a project you just found about? We'd love to hear your story about that. Tell us all down below. And Raptor, you know the thing.
You got it. And hopefully KitKat gets a laugh out of this one. No matter where you go and everything else, and you see this young lady and everything else, she might be the cat's meow with a large singing voice that really turns your head. But guess what? When you crack that KitKat, you're going to get a sound that just makes your voice change in a complete different thing. We'll talk to you later, folks. Have a good one. Bye.